Y'all, what in the red carpet chaos just happened at the BET Awards? Remy Ma didn't just pull up, sis snapped, swung, and then got snatched up by security like it was the final scene of a Tyler Perry drama. Cameras caught it all. Wigs were nearly flying, security was scrambling, and Clarissa's shields looked like she was ready to square up in a whole different weight class. And guess who was right in the middle of all this madness? Papoose. That's right, Mr. Loyalty himself. The walking relationship goal-turned emotional disaster magnet. So, what made Remy lose it this bad? What did she see that made her go from rap royalty to a mugshot moment in under 90 seconds? Was it really just a lover's quarrel? Or is there more to this BET bombshell than anyone's ready to admit? Because the way this went down, Chile wasn't just messy, it was legendary. Stay right here, because we've got the full breakdown. The betrayal, the dragging, the arrest, and why fans are saying Papoose might have wanted it to happen. Grab your popcorn. This ain't just tea. This is boiling lava. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your edges because what just went down at the BET Awards has the entire internet shaking like Remy Ma's last nerve. It started off as a glamorous night of black excellence, glittering gowns, and overhyped performances until it turned into the Royal Rumble. Celebrity Edition. 1 second, Claressa Shields was posing on the carpet, giving, "I'm the champ and the bride" energy, and the next, Remy Ma came storming through like a Bronx hurricane, and before anyone could say security. Wigs were getting tested, mics were flying, and BET producers were sweating harder than Usher in a confessional. But let's rewind for a second, because this wasn't just some random scuffle between two celebs. No, baby. This had years of drama simmering under the surface. This was personal, calculated, and way too wild to be scripted. At the center of it all, you guessed it, Papoose. The man once known for being the most loyal husband in hip-hop. But after the events of the past year, fans are now wondering, was he always loyal, or was he just loyal to hiding the truth? Now, in case you've been living under a rock without Wi-Fi, here's the tea. For months, rumors have been swirling that Claressa Shields and Papoose have been getting real cozy behind the scenes. We're talking soft launch Instagram stories, secret boxing sessions, and one suspicious trip to Turks and KUS that neither one of them can explain. Remy, who's always been private about her personal life until she's not, has stayed mostly silent until now. Because what allegedly triggered this full-blown BET brawl was something no woman ever wants to see with her own eyes. Her man holding another woman's hand backstage, grinning like he just won a championship belt. And no, it wasn't for music. Multiple eyewitnesses, including one of the dancers for Glorilla, say that Remy walked in on Papoose and Claressa backstage alone midlife, looking way too comfortable. Word is Claressa had her hand resting on his chest. You know that I know this is mine now type of touch. And that's when the Bronx came out of Remy faster than a drill beat at a DJ battle. Now, let's be clear. This wasn't just a who you talking to moment. This was a full-body tackle followed by a wick-snatching uppercut that had folks screaming world star before anyone even pulled out their phones. Security tried to jump in, but sources say Remy was moving like she was back in prison. Elbows flying, heels still on, acrylics intact, and just like that, Claressa went from GWAT to getting hooped on a Tuesday. BET tried to cut to commercial, but it was too late. The footage already leaked in 4K with captions, and now fans are demanding to know how did we get here? To understand this bet blowout, we got to go back to the start. Remy Ma and Papoose were once considered unbreakable. She was behind bars, and he held her down like the last good man left on earth. They became the poster couple for loyalty, black love, standing tall through it all. But then came the cracks. First came the rumors. Quiet at first, like whispers in the wind. Claressa's Shields being spotted a little too often in Remy's orbit. Training with Papoose. Laughing on FaceTime. One fan even screenshotted what they claimed was Papoose commenting, "Fire, fire, fire," under one of Claressa's bikini posts, then deleting it 2 hours later. Remy, of course, clapped back at the time, saying people were reading too much into it. But now those old rumors look more like prophecies. Then came the Claressa interviews, you know, the ones where she'd giggle when asked about dating, then mysteriously say, I'm keeping things private for now. Honey, that's code for, I'm sneaking around with someone famous, and y'all just not ready yet. And here's where it gets worse. An anonymous source who claims to work with BET's talent coordination team says Remy Ma wasn't even supposed to be backstage at that moment. She had been seated near the front row, 2 segments away from performing a surprise verse with Fat Joe. But apparently, right before she went on, she asked to use the private artist lounge where she accidentally ran into Claressa and Papoose. Accidentally. Or was someone trying to get caught? Because guess what else? That same source says Remy had been acting on edge the entire night. She wasn't talking to many people, was glued to her phone, and kept watching the side stage. One assistant even claimed she heard Remy mutter under her breath, "If they think I won't show out here, they got me twisted." So, when the footage leaked, and yes, we have alleged cell phone video where Remy screams, "You thought I wouldn't find out," before charging, the internet basically imploded. Within minutes, Twitter was on fire. Remy dragged Claressa like she stole her whole album. BET stands for Better Evacuate Tonight. Now Papoose got women fighting for him like he the last man with a pension. But before anyone could spin it as just a cat fight, things escalated fast. Security intervened. BET staff got trampled. One stylist allegedly caught a heel to the chest. And that's when police were called. Because let's be honest, once things go from shade to shoving to somebody's airing found on the floor, it's no longer showbiz, it's assault. By the time Remy was escorted off the premises, the damage was done, and the headlines were already writing themselves. Remy Ma arrested after BET Awards brawl. Remy Ma faces charges after attacking Claressa's Shields on live TV. Remy versus Claressa. What really happened behind that curtain? Now, here's where things get even messier. Because someone from Ray's own team allegedly tried to spin the story to TMZ before the police report even dropped. They claimed Remy slipped and accidentally made contact with Claressa. But baby, the internet wasn't buying it, especially not with slow-mo replays showing Remy gripping Claressa's ponytail like she was trying to drag her into next year.
And Papoose.
Oh, he was nowhere to be found after the fight. Witnesses say he vanished.
Poof.
Like a guilty man with good cardio. Some say he fled the scene. Others say he left with Claressa. Either way, that silence is loud. So Remy Ma is being hauled out of the BET Awards in handcuffs. Lashes still clinging on for dear life. And what does the internet do? Exactly what you'd expect. It goes full CSI mode. Because this wasn't just a moment. It was a movement. Within minutes, Twitter, TikTok, and even Facebook Andes were decoding every angle of the leaked footage like they were analyzing the Zapruder film. One user slowed the clip down frame by frame and swore you could hear Claressa yell, "She's crazy," right before the hair pull. Another claimed they spotted Papoose in the background, smirking. Yes, smirking. And that's when the conspiracy theories began. Was this fight spontaneous rage, or was Remy Ma set up to take the fall? Sources say a now-deleted Instagram story from BET's Green Room may have captured Claressa purposely leading Papoose into that private lounge area, the same one Remy accidentally walked into. The time-stamped footage shows Claressa whispering something to Papoose, then dragging him by the wrist with a little too much confidence for someone who's supposedly just a friend. But wait, it gets even shadier. Because guess who reposted that clip with a caption? "Y'all really don't see what's happening here."
Maze.
Yes, that Maze. The same Maze who's been clowning Diddy for weeks suddenly inserted himself into this mess. And fans are wondering what he knows. Then, out of nowhere, a suspicious Twitter account named @RealActress starts tweeting screenshots. And this is where things get downright diabolical. One tweet read, "It was never about loyalty. Remy's been the distraction. Claressa is the endgame." Now, at first, people thought this was just a troll account, but then the account dropped alleged DMs from Papoose to an unknown user timestamped just days before the BET Awards. One of them read, "I'm tired of protecting her image. When the truth drops, I'm done pretending." Another Claressa been there when nobody else was. The internet lost it. Fans started comparing Ray's public meltdowns to old interview clips, pointing out moments where she looked emotionally checked out or already suspicious. Someone even dug up a 2023 podcast where Remy joked, "If Pap ever cheats on me, it better not be with someone who could knock me out." Well, grimacing face. Meanwhile, Clarissa's shield has gone into strategic silence mode. Her team has made zero statements, and her last post, a black screen with 3 words, "Still standing, unbothered." The comments, "Nuclear girl unbothered or undefeated in ruining marriages." This ain't the Olympics, Claressa. Put the gloves down and pick up a moral compass. How many rings you need? Championship or wedding? And let's not forget the Free Remy movement.